Welcome back, folks. You know, the Braun brothers have been making music their entire lives. Well, it's road story time from two of them. Here's Gary and Micky Braun of Micky and the Motorcars. Boy, this one should be good.
I've got a story for you.
We'll say that the mountains touch the sky.
I can tell you the story of first time I was driving down to Austin. I was driving down by myself. We'd moved back to Idaho with the band just for the summer, our first year. And we just toured completely in the West for about 3 months. And then when we drove back down to Austin, I drove my grandma's car down. She gave it to me. So I drove this 1990 Royale Oldsmobile down. And it just floated down the highway. It was a great car. But it was a grandma car for sure. But I'm cruising along down the highway, and I get through Salt Lake City. I take the cutoff, and I'm just heading out onto the flats out into Wyoming. And I'm about 70 miles out of Rock Springs, and I'm exactly 82 miles to Rollins. And my front tire blows out on the car, and I got it loaded full, like all the way to the brim, in the back seat, front seat, the trunk.
Yeah, but he forgot the part about right in the beginning of the tire blowing up. The tire actually separated first, so like the whole track came off the tire. And he's driving my grandma's mint condition Oldsmobile. And well, the tire came loose and just like totally demolished the fender on this old mint condition Oldsmobile that she'd given him. And he was like, yeah, he's had it for 500 miles and he already wrecked it. You know, my dad was just like, oh yeah, nice work.
Well, Dad, she didn't give it to you.
True.
Pull over, I get all the stuff out of the back, on the side of the road, dig down, pull out the spare, go up, put it on, load everything back in the car, lower the jack down, and there's about that much air in the tire. So at least it was enough to like keep moving down the road, you know? It's about 5 o'clock at night at this point, 6 o'clock, right around there at dusk. And I'm on the side of the road, over the white line, just creeping along about 20 miles an hour, and I come up on the sign that says, Rollins, 79 miles. And I'm doing 20 miles an hour. And I don't even know if I'm gonna make it anyway. Didn't have a cell phone, didn't have anything back then. So I just think I'm screwed. Well, then I see a rest stop up ahead, so I pull in there, and I go into the bathroom, and there was a guy kind of cleaning up stuff, and I said, are you the camp host? And he goes, yeah, I am. And I go, you wouldn't happen to have an air compressor, would you? And he was like, no, don't have an air compressor. And I was like, you wouldn't have to have a phone? And he was like, no, don't have a phone. I'm like, okay, well, I got an almost flat tire, and I really need to get somewhere to where I can get this tire fixed. Do you have any suggestions? And he's like, well, 79 miles that way to Rollins, and it's about 82 miles that way back to, whatever it was, Rock Springs or whatever. And okay, so that's your advice? And he's like, yeah, well, anyway, I walked outside. I didn't know what to do. And there was a guy in the bathroom. He comes up to me and goes, you need an air compressor? And I go, yeah. He goes, I got one. He goes, where's your car? I go, it's that white one right over there. He goes, okay. So I go over, I'm sitting in my car, and he comes pulling up in this huge truck, and it's got a big trailer on the back, and like 5 guys jump out. They come running over, they open up the back of their trailer. All of a sudden, I get out of the car, and by the time I get out of the car, they've got a jack underneath the trailer. They jack it up to take the tension off of the tire. They've got another air compressor that they're running over. They got a tire filled up. They go around, they check all the other tires, fill all of them up, and then walk back over, and they're like, have a nice day, son. And I'm like, what's going on? What's your guys' deal? And they're like, can't you tell? We're a pit crew. They jumped in their truck and they drove away. And I drove into Rollins that night and got a hotel. But wherever you are out there, fellas, thank you.